A coach can help you achieve progress in the areas of your life that really matters. So आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे ही लाइफ कोच से who help the businesses, individuals, corporate houses or the entrepreneurs to reprogram their to thought process resulting in their transformations as successful and peaceful entities. So hello sir, welcome to the e-commerce guru entrepreneur series.
Namaste, Manisha. Thanks for the invite. Grateful to
So
be here today.
thank you so much. So how are you sir?
Doing well. Hope you and your team are all doing well too.
Yes, we are definitely wonderful. So please tell us about you and about your company कि आप किस तरीके की services provide करते हैं. थोड़ा सा बताइए.
Yes. The parent company is International Yoga School, which is Srimath Yoga. This is the 12th year of operations. And fortunately, the team has the experience of working both at corporate houses and also as individual trainers before starting this initiative in the field of yoga education. When we started, there were very few organizations who were doing this. Probably universities and ashrams were doing this job of giving yoga teacher training. And then gradually we realized that people should not separate yoga and life. They should, the way of life is called yoga in the Indian tradition. So gradually, the concept of how to the life coaching, how we can involve the Indic wisdom, the thoughts and the wisdom which is in the Indian tradition, which can be applied in the day-to-day life, not just for living and also for coaching individuals and companies. This idea came about because India is one of the civilizations where we have minimum 5,000 to 7,000 years of continuous history. So there must be something we must be doing right in this continent, despite invasions, despite intrusions from across globe. We are able to consolidate and still progress today very well. So there must be some wisdom in this tradition which should help individuals, organizations to do well and sustain in the long run. That is the reason why we thought Srimath Yoga in the 12th year of operations, we should also diversify into life coaching based on Indic wisdom.
That's really nice sir. So आपने जैसे कि बताया कि आप योगा से रिलेटेड लोगों को टीचिंग देते हैं विच इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आज की हमारी लाइफ में एंड आफ्टर कोविड वी ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड कि हेल्थ रिलेटेड चीजें कितनी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो गई है हमारी डे टू डे लाइफ में लोग इतनी ज्यादा बिजी हो गए हैं कि अपनी हेल्थ को बहुत ज्यादा प्रेफरेंस नहीं दे रहे थे बट आफ्टर कोविड अब हम लोग भी देने लगे हैं सो योगा एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज निकल कर आई थी सो सर मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि आपकी जो ये जर्नी है जो इस फील्ड में ये कैसे स्टार्ट हुई क्या आप हमेशा से ही इसी फील्ड में थे या आना चाहते थे क्या एक इसके पीछे हिस्ट्री आपकी रही थी क्या एक इंस्पिरेशन आपको मिली थी जो आपने ये जर्नी को स्टार्ट किया
In 1997, I was fortunate to get to study the post-graduation in management in Sringeri Mutt's College, which is in Delhi. The college was located at Vasant Vihar earlier. Now they have moved out. The ground floor was the Sharadama temple and the first floor was the college. And the management had consciously taken top two people from 24 states. So I got to study from students with across religions in India, Jains, Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, and Hindus. We all together formed this country. Plus, we had students from Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Gujarat, Jammu Kashmir, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, you name a state, we had students studying there. So, first I experienced the concept of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam at my college, MBA college from 1997 to 99, where I met my teacher, Shri. I would like to call him Shri because he would like to be anonymous. He would not like to come in open. So it is
Okay, no
him who
problem.
introduced. Yeah, it is him who introduced all these concepts to us because the college had the special permission to teach management with a special emphasis on Indian ethos, the concepts from Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and other extraordinary texts our ancient rishis have produced. So we studied it along with the day-to-day management studies. So that is where I think the seed for what we are doing today was sown way back in 1997.
Oh, that's very nice कि from the starting आपने काफी ज्यादा काफी इस चीज में आपका इंटरेस्ट था and then you started your journey from there only and I think अपने ड्रीम्स को फॉलो करने के लिए ही ये सबसे बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है कि आफ्टर कॉलेज एंड इन कॉलेज आपको एक इंस्पिरेशन मिल जाए कि आपको उसी इंस्पिरेशन से अपनी पूरी लाइफ पर आपको पता चल जाए कि आपको करना क्या है. So this is a wonderful thing. So sir, तो जब आपने अपनी जर्नी स्टार्ट करी और जब अभी तक की पूरी जर्नी में आपने क्या-क्या प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करी और क्या एक सॉल्यूशन आपको दिखाई दिया और क्या आप लोगों को वो बताना चाहते हैं?
See, whenever we try to do something new, there is always going to be resistance. And second, in 1990s, the idea of a middle class family is the boy or girl studies, then gets into a very secure job. After 4 5 years, they work and they get married. So settling in life was marrying and getting children. So when you do other than this, like instead of going to a job, you want to do on your own, it was seen as something very different. So fortunately, the dot-com boom and the wave was going on in the late 90s. So there were a lot of Indians, the families also may have encouraged them to get into entrepreneurship. So the breaking of the mindset at everywhere, even right from our uh, family and friends, that it is okay to be on your own. So I worked for initially I worked for some years, and maximum I would have worked for 5 years. Put together before MBA I worked for 2 years, and after MBA I worked for 2 to 3 years. Why I'm saying 2 to 3 years is the last six months, two projects we did as our startups. It is like being on your own. So that was a new thing those days. So to make people understand, if you are doing the right thing, you are being honest and sincere, you are always okay to try something. Even if you fail, you have age on your side. So every time we met our elders and the family and friends, we need to tell them, instead of telling I'm trying to succeed, we had to tell them it is okay to fail, because failure was not accepted very well in generally in any households, right? So failure is not end of the life. So it is okay. But fortunately, whatever I did, the initial two startups, the IT companies we tried to do, they also were doing well. Then on my own, I had a startup called Spatikam, where we trained people like me who were from a small town, who how I was able to do well in my MBA and after that. So I took the lessons and we designed a course called Last Bridge, and it was covered in the Times of India Bangalore edition those days. So we had this course called Last Bridge where we taught people how to write, how to read faster, how to take notes, because people studied so well in academics. When they go to MBA, they think it's an academic study. MBA is a practical study. You need to be so studious every day. You need to know how to read economic times, how to take the notes. Textbooks will be there, but you need to be updated with things, right? So we brought this course like Last Bridge. The second course we did was Back to Roots, where we got permission from Stanford University to offer a module called Creativity in Business. So these two courses I was doing way back in 2001 till 2003 for 2 years. Then I also had a startup called firstresource.net, where BPO was coming up well in India. So SpectraMind was bought out by Wipro at that time. The industry was beginning to recruit a lot of people. So I was in the recruitment space also for 2 years. So in December 2003, my teacher said that we need to put these principles into practice. So one of person known to me who believes in the Indic value system, he is starting a retreat for learning in outskirts of Bangalore. I wish you be with him. So that's where I was there for 7 years. The place is called Shreyas. It is still one of the top yoga retreats of the world, rated by TripAdvisor. And in 2010, I was with Tamara the Kurg for 4 months setting up their product development trade relations. And 2011, I figured out that I need to become independent and start sharing this knowledge in a systematic way in a small group of people. That's the time we started the yoga school in 2011. This is the journey from studies to starting of the yoga school.
This is awesome journey. Like every step you have something and then you go to the another step. So one thing I would like to know about the courses you said, the last bridge. So what is the difference in all those courses, last bridge and another two you have mentioned? So क्या एक difference था इनमें?
Yes.
And what is
It's
the
simple what they
beneficial?
don't teach us at college. Even
Sorry.
today, we do that. It is what they don't teach you at college. In college,
Okay.
they teach you how to present, how to write for exams. They don't
True.
teach how to present the knowledge to the public so that you become employable, you can communicate well. So we see
In
a
a
topper in the
professional world.
college. Yeah. So what the professional world needs is not just knowledge, but the way we are trained to present that knowledge in a beneficial way. So people understood, but they don't know how to write a letter properly, even after graduation. They
Yeah,
will not
true,
know how to
true.
write an email. What is the email etiquette? So, what is a team? How to
Exactly.
work in a team? The basics of leadership, correct? And
Right.
listening skills, note taking skills. These were not taught in schools even today. So, the MBA institutes were looking for the candidates whom they can directly train them. And the training institutes for coaching only taught aptitude and other skills. They never taught life skills. This is called
Exactly.
soft skills those days. So in the
Right.
last bridge course, we taught them soft skills. They become more, colleges, for example, you need to have a group
Presentable. More
discussion.
presentable.
You don't know how to do a group discussion, but you are a topper in your college. You did so well in CAT, you did so well in MAT exam, but you don't know how to present yourself to others, correct?
Right.
So this
Right.
last bridge, it's like a last bridge between your studies and higher studies or employment. So that way it is. Back to Roots is a course designed based on how to improve the creative thinking skills. So this course was done with the help of Professor Michael Ray, who started this course in Stanford University, which is still running. It's called
Okay.
Creativity in Business.
Okay.
He happens to share the same spiritual lineage as me, connected with Nityanand Bhagavan of Ganeshpuri. So I just found it out when I was reading his book in a library. Then I just wrote a mail to him because a mail is there is no money involved in writing an email. So I wrote to the professor saying that I wish to offer this course in India. Professor
Okay.
replied within 24 hours saying that generally people don't ask us, they just take and use our material. You asked, and I'm very happy that you are also connected with the tradition. I am giving you permission to do this course free for whoever coming. You don't need to pay me royalty. So that creativity in business course, I was astounded to see our ancient technique of sun salutation, Surya Namaskara, is presented as one of the techniques to develop greater thinking skills and being non-judgmental. So, professor sitting in Stanford, this I am telling you in 1999 to 2000, 22 years back, already had done enough body of work to understand how important sun salutation is. Surya Namaskara, which we are teaching now, as a very big thing. So that is the second course. The third course we did was a small course called Freedom. Someone wants to become an entrepreneur. It was not easy 20 years back. Today you have Government of India supporting with Mudra Yojana and other
Materials you
schemes.
have,
But
right. Online materials, right.
those days it was very difficult to start on your own. So we designed a course called Freedom. The way we became free from employment and trying to be individual, or within your organization, how to be an intrapreneur. Not everyone needs to leave the job and do something. Somebody can be in the company, help the company to grow if the founders and the company has a good work culture. So using the
Exactly.
Freedom course, we taught them finance for non-finance professionals, like leadership for everyone. So it is a course designed for people who want to become free as an entrepreneur within the company and as an entrepreneur when they want to start on their own. So these three courses I was offering through the company called Spatikam. Spatikam means with that which is crystal clear stone, right? So ancient Indians say that it has the capacity to understand and keep the data within itself. So that is
Okay.
called Spatikam. It has very cooling
Second.
effect. So that is the Spatik in, so Hindi, you call it as Spatik. and Samskrita is Patikam. So these are the three courses which we offered using that small startup those days.
That's very nice, and I think everyone needs to at least enroll one time in this type of courses because it sounds really interesting and really helpful. And all the things you have mentioned in the courses, like the Surya Namaskar and other things, which is very important for day to day in our entrepreneurs or the people who are working in their offices. These things are very important, but some of them are just don't know or not aware or maybe don't get the knowledge. So I think we really need this type of courses in a, I think, expand level in India. And
Yes,
yeah, and one thing I would like to know from you that you said that about some ancient thing, that you are very much
yeah.
close to the traditional India. So, what you have found, different in the entrepreneurship or anything in the mindset from the traditional to the modern, क्या एक difference आप देखते हो?
See, in the modern education system and the way we live today, generally focuses only on artha or kama. That is how to pursue wealth or how to enjoy life. That is pleasure, which is kama. But the
Artha is
traditional Indian
okay.
system tells artha is generation of wealth. Artha is
Okay,
generation
generation
of
of
wealth.
wealth.
We call
Okay,
it purushartha. Yeah.
okay,
So in
okay.
India, we have four Purusharthas, not only two. These two are for day to day life. The first one is Dharma and it should end in Moksha, wherein Artha and Kama are sandwiched between Dharma and Moksha. Thus, Dharma and Moksha are not taught in the education system in India or elsewhere in the world because we clearly followed what was there in the pre colonial era. We continued as a colony. We were only churning out clerks and peons or people who can just crunch numbers mindlessly. Correct? So we need to have a connect with our tradition. For example, when the yoga school we started in 2011, there is one plus or minus in India is there is an entrepreneurial mindset. Once they see a successful model, everybody will start that. This is one thing with whether they have base, how they are going to go ahead in future. That is not a thing. They just start something. So everyone started to have yoga courses happening, but still the focus only was on the physical side, which is the asana. So rarely deeper pranayama techniques were taught for mind management. For example, it is found even during clinical research that a technique called brahmari, which done 6.5 minutes continuously, is having the ability to quieten the mind. So
Brahmari is
which our
something
ancients
like
were doing for so long.
yeah,
Humming the
Brahmari.
technique.
Yeah, Brahmari is something I have heard this word and it is very famous in
Yeah.
yoga. Brahmari is something when you
Uh,
just close your eyes and
yes.
producing the sound from your internal mouth,
Yes.
yeah, from your throat, and you just
Perfect.
and focusing on yeah, this side, right? Right? I
Yeah,
guess यहाँ
there
पे
are
focus.
various techniques. Yeah,
Yeah, this
various
is the
techniques.
technique I
जो
know.
आप बोल रहे हो वो एक टेक्निक है, but
अच्छा,
it is there are various deeper techniques.
in
But the idea
Brahmari.
is when you learn and do it properly in one sitting, you do for 6.5 minutes. It is clinically proven to quieten your mind. So today, research studies are done in every aspect of yoga, pranayama, and then what we saw is in 2013 we saw there is a huge space. People became yoga teachers, then they didn't know what to do next because there are hundreds of yoga teachers now. So we were the first institute in the world allowed by Yoga Alliance International to teach yoga nidra systematically as a certificate course. Earlier, if someone needs to learn yoga nidra, there was only one batch which Bihar School of Yoga used to run at Rikia Peeth and one at Munger Ashram. So two batches was taught in the entire year. When people do the teacher training there, they learned yoga nidra technique very systematically there.
So what
But
is
the need
yoga
of the
nidra
technique
what
was
is
very
yoga
much.
nidra? Sorry sir,
Yoga
what is
nidra
yoga
is
nidra?
a,
आप थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो बिकॉज हमारे ऑडियंस को समझ में आना जरूरी है कि योगा निद्रा है
yeah.
क्या, सो बिफोर एनरोलिंग और बिफोर गोइंग फॉर knowing the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nidra is sleep, everyone knows. And
Yeah.
yoga means awareness. Yoga, one of the meaning is awareness. So, how someone can mimic sleep but continuously be aware? See, generally, if you and I or any commoner lies down, it is mainly to sleep. But when you sleep, today people don't know even how to sleep. They go to sleep out of tiredness, their eyes are watery, their head is aching, so much they are in the digital world or in the phone. They
Insomnia.
get so tired and go to sleep. Earlier, what happened is you gradually prepare yourself to sleep. Then, what happens when you lie down, you generally think you want to sleep. But there are so many things in life you need to sort out while you are relaxed, at the same time not sleeping. So what Yoga Nidra does, it is systematically helps you to relax first, then helps you to relieve the stress, and finally it helps you to manifest your desires. So how this happens? It taps the various areas in the brain. Okay, there is something called a reticular activating system in the brain. I can give you one small example. You just think of a car or a color of a car. Okay. After our interview is over, when you go home today, there is more probability that you will see that car or that color of the car more, because your mind is tuned to see what you wish to see rather than what is there in the reality. So what we do in Yoga Nidra course is to help people to write down the desires and filter those desires using the purushartha, which is dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and filter the desires further using yama and niyama, which are the first two limbs of yoga as mentioned by Patanjali, so that they understand just like that, I can't have a desire. That desire has to be righteous and it should suit me and the people around. Then we sow this desire as a seed during the practice of Yoga Nidra. So what we did is we have now have an initiative called Traditional Yoga Nidra, traditionalyoganidra.com. We have uploaded free resources for people to listen to the audio. They can see the video lecture to understand scientifically how Yoga Nidra works. Because in life, there is more to life than just earning money. Like prosperity is also giving back to the society. So this is our way of giving back to the community some tools and techniques and how they can practice this idea of Yoga Nidra. So for those who wish to become teachers, we do this as a Yoga Nidra for yoga teachers. There is a batch which is going on now where yoga teachers who have not studied Yoga Nidra as a subject in their teacher training come to us to study Yoga Nidra so that they can take classes in corporates in stress management. They can take classes on work life balance. So we not only teach them the technique, we teach how this technique can be applied to become to earn a livelihood in the corporate, because it's corporate who generally pays well. There is also a misnomer that if you are pursuing yoga as a career, you the people think, will I be able to earn to sustain a household? Correct. So we need to give them tips and techniques and the methodology to take this knowledge to the larger audience. So Yoga Nidra helps in this way. Initially, it helps to relax. Then once you relax, your stress gets managed properly. Then later, one by one, your desires will become much clear to yourself, and then you pick up a desire, work with the teacher to perfect it, and use it as a potent seed in the practice of Yoga Nidra. So, over a period of practice, that you can see that desire coming true in your life. Once it comes true, then you will know a mechanism of how to think right so that you can achieve whatever goal you want in life. Correct? So, Yoga Nidra helps not only yoga teachers to have an additional technique in their armory, it also helps corporate trainers to do very well. And when we do, life coaches come to us for coaching, because life coaches generally it is done based on templates. But you are different, I am different. Correct. So people need to go beyond the templates. So we teach them the basics of yoga and Vedanta during the course, wherein it is neutral, any it is equal for any gender, any caste, any country. People can come and study, and any religion, because our culture existed much before any religion, founded religion was there. So the concepts mentioned in the Indic wisdom is common to any human being in the world. So we have encapsulated all that stuff and presenting in this concept called Yoga Nidra. And then we give people an option to pursue Indic life coaching, wherein whatever is needed for a professional. See, what we did is, uh, in the business terms, you can call it as a blue ocean strategy. When everyone offers yoga teacher training, we offer yoga teacher training plus yoga nidra teacher training. When everyone in the world can go for a life coaching certificate, we empower them with Indic life coaching certificate. That means people who have no idea about life coaching also can become a life coach. People who are already a life coach can incorporate this Indic wisdom in their life coaching and make their life and their clients' life better. So this is the way we are using yoga processes, yoga nidra as a specific process, and the Indic wisdom to create difference for ourselves and people who come in touch with us.
This is, I guess, really wonderful. I have heard all these words and all these things in philosophy. Truly said in Indian philosophy, may the word you are using uh, जनरली यूज किया जाता है द वन इज वेदांता एंड योगा निद्रा एंड बट उसमें बस हम लोग पढ़ लेते हैं बट एग्जैक्टली मीनिंग्स नहीं पता होती बहुत लोगों को इंडियन में भी अगर मैं यहाँ की भी बात करूँ वी जनरली जस्ट रीड द वर्ड ठीक है योगा निद्रा बट वी डोंट नो द मीनिंग एंड वी जस्ट डोंट नो द व्हाट it actually benefits, how it actually benefits us. But the way you said that yoga nidra is really helpful for everyone, it does not matter who you are.
Yes.
Okay, so this is all you are saying is wonderful. So could you please tell us about the what is your great advice to all the young people who have just started their career or who want to pursue yoga teaching in their career or anything? Could you please advise what is your great advice for everyone?
Yeah. Advice is a very big word, but I can share some things out of the experiences. Please do not rush to take yoga teaching as your independent career or profession immediately. While you are in a job, enroll for teacher training, and because yoga is a way of life. So when you implement whatever you learn in any yoga teacher training from a recognized school, you will understand that you become much better in your job. So excelling in a job is extremely very important because yoga should not be seen as running away from the pressures of corporate life to become a yoga teacher,
Exactly.
which is a
Right.
wrong way to do it. Because this a similar situation you can see Arjuna saying, Krishna, drive my chariot to Rishikesh, I don't want to fight the war. So the war is fought in the mind, not in the battlefield.
Exactly.
So the
True, true.
corporate life is also first lived in your mind, not in the office, correct? So whenever someone wishes to become a yoga teacher, the ideal way is not to leave the job or the business what they are doing. Identify a right yoga school, enroll there, study, practice very well. Once they become proficient, they can take weekend classes, morning classes. Today, online classes are possible. In the corporate where they are working, they can take classes for their fellow staff. Then they understand whether yoga is a career for them instead of rushing into it. And for people who are working in the corporate also, we need to know that if we are designed or born as a carpenter, for example, we should try to become the best carpenter in the town than to try and learn plumbing or software programming. What happens is you are in a career which is not your swadharma. So, how much ever money you will earn, you will never be happy because you'll always be missing something. Imagine that you are very good in poetry. You just asked, you asked, you say because stock market is doing well, chalo ek diploma course kuch kar lete hain. Let me also
People
do stock
generally do
trading.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a majority of people would are up to me, it's appearing they are going to the jobs or business which is giving more return on investment without even mapping what is their actual skill set is. So I would like to urge whether it's a youth or an elderly person to first check what is their skill set. Based on the skill set, they should decide whether to continue on the job do a part-time thing or get into the business completely than jumping into doing something. So this is one area where you do a yoga course or any course for inner development will help you to identify who the real you is. So stay close to your core. Don't look at outside for what others are doing. Look inside as to what you can do to be a better person than yesterday, today, and create the difference in yourself and the society tomorrow. So that is the very basic thing. Stay close to the core.
So, I want to know one thing. When is the first time you have find out that yoga actually changes your own life? Like, do you remember that situation or
Yes, I
that
remember that.
memory? Do you have any memory like this?
I
Do
very
you
well
when you feel
remember
like
that.
okay, this is the
It was
time
in
I
the
yeah yeah
it was in the year 2004 January when I was working in a company where my teacher asked me to start work. In parallel, the company was magnanimous to run my training institute and the placement company as well, because I was working for 4 days a week. There, 3 days I was pursuing my entrepreneurship journey. At that time, we had the mandate to recruit for a technical and the operational side of a company. I don't wish to name the company, but after recruitment, what happened? The Bhagavad Gita classes were happening in January. My teacher was exactly talking about karma, how one should execute karma, how can you convert karma into karma yoga. These talks were going on in 2004 January. And I get a call from the HR of that company saying that they have to close down the company because the one who funded the company didn't want to fund a company which is enabling online gambling.
okay
Okay, so what happened? I was left with a curious study of should I claim my 8 lakh rupee charges, what I should get for placing around 11 people in the company. It was a very big amount for a startup in the year 2004. Then when I spoke this to my teacher, he said, you are trying to align yourself with Dharma and the tradition. It is your choice to do well in business, but is your business enabling dharma or enabling adharma? Naturally, online gambling is enabling adharma, creating greed in others. So, if you wish to forgo this 8 lakh will, you will see a very big difference. You will have conviction in the traditional values. That's it. I called the HR and said, we have nothing to say. It is your company's decision, and I never claimed it, though I had every reason to claim it. So, this is the way we understand that the traditional values will come to you for clarity and help. If you are ready and open, it can happen anytime to anybody. But we should be ready to forgo of our pet notions and prejudices against the way we are conducting business or working at any place. So 2004 January, that call from Delhi was a turning point which made me realize that if you stick to the core and if you stick to dharma, dharma will take care of you. They say, no, how much ever you try to protect dharma, the same way dharma will try to protect
protect
you.
you
So that I
right.
personally experienced 18 years before now.
This is awesome. You all the things you have shared, your own life experience is just, I think, so inspiring to everyone and to me also. And thank you so much for sharing all the information and knowledge and the advice. And I hope everyone enjoy this interview. And I hope that everyone will learn the words from you, what you have shared with everyone. So thank you so much, sir, for joining the interview. I hope you enjoyed this
Thank
interview
you.
as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Same. Thanks a lot, Manisha. Thank you.